brand. I forgot to mention we had Mark Wahlberg actually come through.
Oh, sick.
But she was like,
was that when he was here filming that movie?
yes, correct.
So it was just recently.
Yeah,
Nice.
he just actually came in with his bodyguard, with his son, and he was sort of in the ways of just a customer. Go experience the world, because actually traveling the world gives you a big inspiration. Like, wow, I want to do it again, right? And it inspires you to hustle even more, to experience even better.
Citadel Podcast, episode 5. Welcome back to the Creating the Dream Life podcast, where we dive deep into the minds of successful business owners and explore how they're creating their dream life and how you guys listening can go about doing the same. Today, we've got a really exciting guest, Nazar, the founder of Soul Street. We are in actually the place today where he sells all of his shoes here at Pack Fair. Nazar, how are you doing today, my man?
Good. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, like I always do, I'd love to just dive straight into it and ask you what the dream life looks like to you. What is your dream life?
The dream life, really good question, because for everyone it's very different.
Of course.
For me, I would say the biggest thing is having a freedom and not worrying about how much things cost or being worried, hey, that bill is coming. And honestly, having that freedom. That's for family, for friends, or whoever it is. And, having some friends saying, you know what, let's go tomorrow, we're going to like Los Angeles, tomorrow we're going to Sydney, and just having the freedom of not worrying about how much things cost.
Of course. And how long have you been running Soul Street for?
So I started back in 2019, and one of my best friends was really into the sneaker culture and clothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is really cool. There's a bunch of money to be made. And the passion sort of started there for the sneaker and clothing. So
your passion started through your friends and that?
Yes, correct. Yeah, I was not really into the Jordans, the Dunks, or even dressing up nicely. I was just dressing up the way anyways. And then I was like, wow, this is actually so cool. Let's do it. I'm like in it. And back in 2019 March, that's when I seriously took it. And
so that's where you started Soul Street as itself. So, but when did it first start? Because I remember when I was talking to you, you were doing it in school, you were like flipping shoes. It was a bit of a side hustle thing. And then you dived a bit deeper into it and actually turned it into a bit of a business. You followed that passion. What did that look like?
Yeah, 100%. So 2019, I was finishing grade 12. During school, I was doing it sort of on the side.
Yeah.
And officially where I took Soul Street, made the brand, was 2021, when we opened our Westwood Kumara store. And that's when it became a real thing, a real business. Mm-hmm. Because before I was doing it sort of on a mass scale, but really exporting it to like Europe, America, and really doing it through a middleman, not to a direct to consumer.
Yeah.
And then we sort of started building a brand and actual business to provide straight direct to consumer.
Awesome. How did you go about building that brand? So you transitioned it from just being a bit of a side hustle thing to now it's actually like a serious business. What did that transition look like? Because I know when it comes to business, when it's just from a bit of a side hustle, you're just kind of making a bit of money, transitioning it into an actual business where it's like, okay, you've got all these things that you didn't even realize. How did you overcome those obstacles and what did that look like for you?
100%. The biggest thing for me was actually living the moment and actually experiencing in real life.
Yeah.
Because sure, you can see it on YouTube, and unfortunately, there's no one that's going to teach you, grab your hand and teach you how to run a business, because they will do it for themselves. And the only way I did it was step by step. How do I do this? How do I, open a store? How do I do the operations, the ops? And it sort of became like from scratch. The first store.
Just got to figure it out.
Correct, yeah. Westwood Kumara, we had no marketing for the opening, and we had like around 20, 30 people at opening. It was the craziest opening. I was like, stress was the biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
And then sort of overcame, and then another store. It was just easier and easier and easier. And yeah, just honestly, step by step.
So talking about the Kumara store, I'm aware that you've recently closed that down a few years ago.
Yeah, that was like about 2 years ago when we opened the flagship in Pacific Fair. Because obviously, if Kumara was a small store, that was a little bit of a test, big risks because rent, bank guarantee even to get into the store, even fitting out, stock, huge risk.
Do you think it was you trying to scale too quickly or jumping a bit in too deep? What was the lesson you learned there?
To be honest, everything that I did was I'm really like appreciative of it and actually doing step by step, because when we opened Pack Fair, because it was a flagship store, it really killed Kumara because there's less
100%.
product and people rather travel the 20 minutes and experience the
But
full.
Pack Fair is also renowned for being like
Correct.
the shopping center on the
Correct,
Gold Coast.
correct. In my opinion, it's the best shopping center in
Yeah.
Australia because I went pretty much been in every single shopping center in Australia, and the experience here, how they have the outside area, you got the food courts. I think genuinely this is the best shopping center in Australia.
Yeah, cool. Now, just quickly, I forgot to mention this for people that are listening and don't know what Soul Street is. What do you guys sell? What's your whole business model?
Yeah, so we are a marketplace for limited edition sneakers. We do cater for everyone.
Yeah.
Even from your $50 shoes, we have $20,000 shoes. We cater for everyone, including all your clothing, all your Nikes, Adidas, pretty much anything that goes into the secondary marketplace.
Yeah, yeah. And so you have the store in Coomera, which you recently closed. You got the store in Pack Fair. I know previously talking, you're doing a lot of stuff online with Shopify. Are you looking at opening other stores? Or are you staying predominantly on a Shopify?
Yeah, so we have another store in Chermside, in Westfield Chermside in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Again, that will be, I think it's the third biggest shopping center in Australia.
Yeah.
And then, we do the biggest part of the business is e-com because it's just a huge market. And obviously with the store, you can't capture everyone from Sydney, Melbourne, whatever it is, from Perth. So the best way is to do it is online. And, learning the e-com side and the online side is huge. Because if you know how to sell and you know how to market a product, you can sell anything online.
Of course. So obviously with online, you can get more reach. But I think one of the biggest things with buying, especially, limited edition sneakers is like that experience of going to the store, looking, checking them out, putting them on, seeing how they feel. How do you combat that with an online store?
It's definitely difficult, but we try to do it through our content. We're trying to sell the emotion and the feeling of getting that product.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest thing in business. You need to learn how to sell the emotion because the product comes with the emotion.
Yeah.
And
so how have you gone about building the emotion with the sneakers through your online brand? Is it your social media or?
Yeah. So the biggest thing is social media.
Yeah.
Social media, especially in 2025,
it's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. If you have creators or whoever it is, and they can sell a product, it's perfect. And definitely when we, supply it to the customer and deliver it to the customer, the presentation of the product is very important as well.
100%.
So we try to, make the experience as smooth as possible.
Yeah. So there's obviously a lot of noise on social media. There's heaps of content being posted. There's a lot of sneaker stores. How do you guys stand out? Do you have like a specific game plan with your social media content, and how does it perform?
Correct. Yeah, there's been a lot of sneaker stores and a lot of closed down because a lot of people do not know how to actually operate a business. And that was the biggest thing because back in the day, you can do a store during COVID. Any business would have worked, right?
Yeah.
And when you have actual difficult and actual life experiences, business is actually really tough. And people understood it in a really difficult way. And a lot of stores closed down. But yes, we do stand out in the ways of our content, the way we present ourselves in the stores as well. And definitely
you guys get some pretty big names in the store.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
What type of people have you had?
Yeah, we had a lot of like Don Toliver, T.I., Trey Songz, Fabulous. We had a few F1 drivers like Jack Doohan, Mick Schumacher. But yeah, we definitely get a lot of cool people come through. And that definitely shows that we're actually trying doing the right thing, trying to bring these people, because why would they even come here, right?
Yeah. How do you go about getting people of that caliber into store like this?
So I have a friend that manages artists and people that come through here.
Awesome.
Tells them, hey, we need to go here, we need to eat here, we need to go to the shop, and really gives them the full experience of like Gold Coast, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, wherever they go.
Yeah, so like that whole networking
Correct,
aspect.
yes. Yeah.
When you get these people in the store, how does that drive business?
Well, it depends. See, if you can correctly make the content and bring the customers, yes. But if a regular customer that comes through the door, he wouldn't know that you actually had Don Toliver come through. He wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
The only way you can reach them is through social media. And if you can target that content directly to that person that shopped with you, that's perfect.
100%. Now, I'd like to dive into like your roadblocks. What type of roadblocks have you had, going through? I know we're talking about with COVID, and you guys obviously experienced COVID. What did that look like? And you were saying that a lot of stores were closing down because they don't know how to run business. What made you guys different? Obviously, you were still learning. You were making your mistakes. Obviously, you learned from your mistakes. But what was that period? What did it look like for you?
I think COVID was probably the best time ever for a
The
business owner.
best.
I think that was the best time for a business owner, and anyone
Interesting.
that's watching and was a business owner during COVID, I think that was like the best time to shine
Yeah.
because everyone was online. There was free money from the government, and when people have free money, they want to spend that money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
correct. So, and people were just sitting online.
Just going tap tap
Correct,
tap,
correct.
spend
Just
spend
shop, shop,
spend.
shop, and when you're getting $1,000 just for free coming into your bank account, people just want to spend it. It's just a nature of people; they just want to spend it, and that's how COVID actually helped me and Soul Street to grow for who we are.
So is that when you kind of decided to go a bit more all in on your online presence with like Shopify and stuff like that, or did you kind of have that approach before?
Correct. So I actually started through stores. So stores was before online because I thought stores there was a huge market gap in actual retail locations, especially Queensland and around Australia.
Yeah.
So we actually did the approach through in stores and then went to online.
Right. Okay. And what's in stores? What's that? Is that
In
like
stores, like
Shopify?
it's no store locations, so
Oh,
physical
I
locations.
see.
Yes,
I
yes, yes.
see. Yeah.
In
Yeah.
stores,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. So you've obviously been on Shopify. Is that where most of your clients drive through Shopify?
Yeah, Shopify is just for any businesses nowadays. I think they have a share of like pretty much 95% of the market of building,
Yeah. Wow.
online store. It's so simple. You can just click
It is very simple.
and
I've
make
done
a
it before.
business very, very simple. So yeah, Shopify is just an engine to pretty much any business for online, even in stores as well, because they do like POS operation systems as well, which makes
Yeah.
it so simpler to have configuration for your POS and online together.
Yeah, I love it. So what's been like the biggest roadblock you've had to overcome with business? So it obviously wasn't COVID because that done really, really well for you. For business owners, it obviously, especially in the e-com market, would have skyrocketed. A lot of other people struggled, but in that sense, it would have gone ballistic. So obviously COVID wasn't a bit of a hard time. What was the biggest roadblock for you and how did you overcome it?
I'd say, see, roadblocks, I wouldn't say a lot of roadblocks. It's sort of a lot of day by day. So, for example, uh, right now, you need to really put yourself into the market because the market changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said COVID was amazing. Then 2023 comes, people don't have the money to spend, especially on product. So you need to really adjust into the marketplace because if
Yeah.
you don't adjust, you're going to be left behind and you're going to be in big trouble. And that's why I saw a lot of sneaker stores closed down and a lot of businesses went into liquidation for that reason. Because you need to learn how to adjust yourself and put yourself back into the market.
Yeah. So how have you gone about navigating the market and how did you adjust accordingly?
Correct. So this is why, for example, we went to online
Yeah.
because your overheads are not as big, and your reach. You can reach pretty much everyone. It just
Yeah.
depends on obviously your creatives, your marketing strategy. But definitely in stores, it is like it is difficult because it's the traffic that are coming into the shopping center. But again, it's your marketing. If you can market it correctly, people will come to visit and experience that in-store experience that you can have.
Over the years, how have you altered your marketing to sell the experience?
Yeah, so definitely in the content that we do make, trying to do that sort of like a buy to buy action or sell to buy action, and really show that hey, like we have big names coming through as well.
Mm,
It's not
mm.
just everyone loves this brand. I forgot to mention we had Mark Wahlberg actually come through,
Oh, sick.
but he was like,
Was that when he was here filming that movie?
yes,
So it was
correct.
just
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. Recently, yeah.
Nice.
He just actually came in with his bodyguard, with his son, and he was sort of in the ways of just a customer. We didn't even realize. We had to look back on the security footage, and it was
Oh,
actually, yeah,
really?
he came in, yeah, Mark Wahlberg. So there's definitely through content, and I hear it nowadays, and anywhere I go, like people understand who Soul Street is and what we actually do. So definitely marketing is a huge thing.
Yeah, yeah. Where are most of your clients? So obviously you're selling online. Do you have like a certain area like Australia or USA where a lot of your traffic is from?
Definitely like Australia because we're sort of an
Australian
Australian-based
brand.
business.
Yeah, yeah.
But definitely we do ship a lot of to like America, to UK. We do New Zealand's actually a big market share that we have also, but the biggest market share is obviously Australia.
Yeah, right. So, because I know with Culture Kings up here, they get some big names themselves through. Like they get Drake and Simon Beard's like, oh, I had 200K in a
Yeah, that's
duffel
correct.
bag, and all these really amazing stories. Do you have anything like that where you bring, A-list celebrities in to drive traffic? Because I remember with Simon Beard, after Drake came through, business went through the roof. So, do you have any future plans of getting some big names in that I should kind of look out for?
For sure. Look, I think Touchings, that was the when Drake did that line, "Hey guys, it's Drake. I'm with Touchings." That was the biggest line and the biggest
Oh,
selling point for Touchings.
100%. Yeah.
Definitely, like when artists come through or any big names that come through, we try to do content with them.
Yeah.
But again, we live in Australia where not a lot of artists and a lot of big people come through because shows are really random and it's only during summertime they usually come through.
Yeah.
So we try to do as much as possible wise of content. But again, some people just come through just to want to have a look, shop
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
as just a normal customer.
I love it. So, like being the founder of Soul Street, do you kind of put yourself as a face of the brand, or do you kind of navigate yourself a bit away from that?
I do put myself as a face, but I try to avoid it as well, not directly,
Okay.
because a lot of people, businesses, it's tough because in the ways of if you put your face to the brand, people are gonna like you and then the brand, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you see a lot of PT nutritionists. Their brand is their face, not the
Yeah.
brand like Soul Street, right? So I try to avoid that in the ways of putting my face as the brand. I just be in the content and in the socials, but not directly like saying, "Hey, this is me. I'm on Soul Street on the social media for Soul Street."
Yeah.
So yeah, I try to stay away from it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And how has life changed for you since like starting Soul Street? Obviously, you finished school and you've jumped straight into this. How has life changed in the sense of like, are you busier? Are you quieter? Like, are you able to go shopping and purchase like groceries without looking at the price tag? How has it changed?
Definitely, like life. I always say like life is good, right?
Yeah.
Life is good. I love like business. I love hustling. I just love the hustle. I don't like sitting on a chair just at home
Ah,
watching TV,
I
watching
know
Netflix.
exactly how you
I'm sorry,
feel.
I'm not interested in that. I'm here to like hustle. I'm always on my phone doing something. If it's also related or another business related, I'm just always on my phone working. So the life definitely changed in the ways of the freedom of like traveling. I don't go traveling every single day or every month. I try to space it out,
Yeah.
make it an enjoyable where I can go for like a month or a few weeks to try to enjoy. But life definitely changed.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
changed.
I
Yeah.
know for me, like when I started my business, it went from a bit of a 9 to 5, 8 hour kind of thing to like 24/7. And I'm the exact same. Like if I'm just sitting down watching the TV, I just like get that itch. I'm like, I haven't worked hard enough. Like if I'm not going to bed exhausted, I'm like, well, what am I doing? So I
Yeah.
think that was a big thing for me. So are you doing like these massive days, or do you have that freedom now where you can just kind of travel and enjoy life a bit more?
Yeah, I do have a freedom, but again, I do have to do a lot of work because
Yeah.
without the work, I'm sorry, but no one's gonna push your own brand
Yeah.
except you, right? You need to grow. You need to grow just overall and actually stay relative, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I
can't
love it.
just be can't just be traveling all the time and enjoying life. It doesn't work
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You need to be working, right? You're young. What else is there to do? Work, hustle, travel, enjoy your time, right? Treat yourself. You need to have that balance, right? Balance is really
Balance is
important.
huge. Yeah,
Correct. You
yeah.
you can't just sit there 24/7 on your laptop hustling, right? You just can't do that. You need to really switch off, enjoy that coffee, morning break, whatever it is, go for travel, go experience the world. Because
Mm,
actually, traveling the world gives you a big inspiration. Like, wow, I want to do it again, right?
mm.
And it inspires you to hustle even more, to experience even better. And don't go, oh, no, I'm going to sit at home on the Gold Coast, do nothing, right?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it actually motivates you to travel more and experience the beautiful world that we have.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And I love even when you walked in here, I'm like, oh, how you been? How's business been going? You're like, yeah, just been hustling. Good, even as a successful business owner, you're still putting the work in. I think that's huge for you to keep everything afloat and scale as it is. So I'm just curious for someone listening, what does a day in the life look like for you?
Day in my life, it's pretty much. grab my phone, check what needs to be done, any problems that we have, any staff that are sick, whatever it is. But obviously,
Yeah.
I don't manage it; it's the managers and stores that do
Yeah, yeah,
manage it. But
yeah.
I still overlook
Yeah.
whatever if there's a big problem. But pretty much on my phone, emails if there's any problems. Pretty much go to the warehouse, talk to the team, talk to the marketing team. What are we doing today? What is the plans for the week?
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much the whole day either going there, talking to someone in Zoom calls, or
Yeah,
trying
lots of
to
Zoom
find
calls.
growth, right? Try to work with the team in house and really
Analyze the
see
market,
what
like you were
correct,
saying.
analyze the
Yep.
market, see where we can improve on, see what is the forecast for the next week, next month, any promotions that we're running. So really, really look into the growth of the business.
Yeah, yeah. So just quickly, obviously when you started this, it was a bit of a one-man show. You were like flipping sneakers and then it evolved into something. At what stage did you go, okay, shit, I need to start delegating some work. I can't take this all on board myself. What did that look like?
Yeah, correct. Like, I'm sorry, but it's impossible to run everything by yourself.
Yeah.
It's genuinely impossible.
It's funny
Even
you say that because I kind of had that realization kind of recently. I had that Superman syndrome where I'm like, oh, I can do it all myself. I can do all the emails, I can do all the filming, I can do all the editing, I can do all the client nurturing, I can do all that myself. And then I was like getting burnt out. I was like at that stage where I was like, okay, cool. I need to. After reading the book by Dan Martell, Buy Back Your
Mhm.
Time, it kind of deep dived into okay, what do you enjoy? What makes the money? What do you not enjoy and what doesn't make the money? And those things that you don't enjoy nor make the money, delegate those tasks to somebody else. Because A, you're going to be giving someone that does the work a job, and B, they're probably going to do it better than you. And until I realized that is when I kind of took that next step. And I thought that was pretty big for me. And that's why I was curious is you've obviously gone from a one-man band to now you've got multiple stores, you've got a full team, you're obviously doing all of this online as well. So yeah, how did it look like building a team and how do you go about finding the right person to, work in store and be the face of the store?
Team is the most important part in a business as well, because your team members, you need to be very careful who you hire, and
Yeah.
your team should be teaching you because you're going to learn a lot more from them because it's a different mind,
Yep.
different, they heard this, they heard something different to you. And a lot of times I take away things that, wow, this is actually, you're right, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about, hey, I need someone working in store, you need to experience that as well.
Yeah.
Experience that first so you can teach the person to be better or even equal, but you always want to have a staff member and your team members to be better than you because
Yeah.
they will, you know, do better for the brand, do better for
100%.
themselves as well. Because
Yeah,
again, it's
yeah.
personal. I tell my team, it's your personal growth as well. Every time you do something, if it's with customer service or if it's marketing, you're doing it for yourself because you're growing your personal outreach
Mm.
and your personal, knowledge about something else.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So how do you go about finding the right person fit for the team?
Yeah, so it's definitely like, for example, if we're talking about in stores, it's definitely the managers and the management team that does look after it
Yeah.
because they know what fits the team. Because it's very important to find someone that fits the whole team. For example, at Pacific Fair, there would be someone that would need to meet like every single person that he can fit into the team, and there's no drama, and there
Mm.
just needs to be a really good salesperson as well, because it's very important, because we're in retail, right? You need to sell the product. You can't just have the product on the shelf and not know anything about the product or selling methods that you can upsell to the person. Hey, this is the product. You need to sell
Mm.
it. Your job is to sell the product.
Yeah.
Not there. The product is not going to sell itself,
Yeah,
right?
of
So
course not. Yeah, yeah.
maybe during COVID, it actually could sell
It
it
could.
because that
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
biggest thing. Like, we were hiring pretty much anyone because during COVID, we had so much traffic because the
Mm.
product could be on shelf. Everyone's going to grab it.
What
So
happened to the store and, the people working for you through that period? How did you navigate that?
during like the commerce store,
Through yeah,
or
through COVID, I mean.
through COVID, especially on the Gold Coast at Queensland, we never really closed
Yeah, okay.
because we opened the first store in 2021, so it was after the COVID period.
Mhm.
So there was a bit of restrictions regarding it, but we sort of overcame overcame that, and yeah, just because it was after COVID, pretty much the stores opened after COVID, so we didn't really worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, fair. So do you have any like main goals you're trying to hit? Like, do you always set goals? How do you go about achieving, whatever the dream life looks like to you, your version of the dream life? How do you go about, you've obviously gone from point A to point B, as in starting this journey with Soul Street. How do you go about taking that next step?
Look, at goals, I look at it very differently. I look at it I set a really broad goal because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen in a year,
Yeah.
because life leads me. I didn't know when I was back in school in 2019 that I'm going to have 2 stores. I didn't know anything about retail, about business. I just literally learned. Every day I lived, every second I lived, I learned. I learned something new, how to do this, how to operate a business, how to run a team. I had no knowledge. I just had to learn, right? So with goals, I really set like a broad goal. Hey, I want to, I don't know, live in Monaco, for example, right? Very broad goal, right? How am I going to get there? That's a day-to-day life, right?
Yeah, okay.
That's sort of, I said, yeah, with goals, I'm really broad, really broad, because I don't know what's going to happen in 5 years, 10 years. Because the goals that I set, for example, in 3 years, it's completely different to what it is right now. It's not even a lot better, right? So it's definitely, I stick to really broad goals.
Yeah, no, interesting. I like that. So you're saying about constantly learning. You were doing stuff yourself. You were learning. How did you go about actually doing that? Like learning things yourself? Is there certain audiobooks or certain things you did or read to get to that stage?
Life experience. Like literally living life, even if it's like building a store or operating a team, is genuinely just living life and experiencing it. Because unfortunately, like you can listen to like audiobooks and books, it will give you a really broad. It's like going, for example, university, right? You're gonna learn business. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna teach you how to run a business.
Yeah.
It's very broad again. You need to experience it and really dig through it, dig through a huge mountain of hard rock and really get through it. Because that's the way you learn it. Just live life, just genuinely live life, experience it, and that's where you're gonna learn the
It's
most.
funny you say that too, because a lot of the teachers in school that are teaching me business have never run a business before.
Correct.
So I'm like, you don't have that life experience of
Correct.
running a business. Like you're going off a curriculum and stuff that you're being told to taught.
Correct.
But you can't even teach me to run a business because you haven't done it before.
Correct.
So I'm
100%.
like, why am I sitting here and listening to you?
100%. That's like, how can a teacher teach without any knowledge of actually experiencing that?
Yeah.
It's not possible. It's like someone that, traveled somewhere, but they actually didn't, and telling, oh, wow, this place is amazing because they read it on Google. No, you need to actually experience it yourself. And especially with business, like if you're talking about teachers, it's exactly correct. How can a teacher teach you business without them actually having a business?
And surrounding yourself with the right people. I think that one's huge. Like the old saying of you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with.
Correct.
What does your group of people look like?
100%. I had people, I'm like surround myself by people that are hustling, have businesses too, and really motivated for a better life.
Yeah.
Don't really surround myself of people that are just happy because they're stable, right? They're happy with the stable, happy grows a little bit every year, but not actually like, hey, I want this, being hungry every single day, right? Trying to achieve the impossible, right?
Yeah.
But actually trying to hustle, right? And I just don't really like anyone that says, oh, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with this job. I'm comfortable,
I hate that shit.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Why?
I like the saying, you got to be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Correct.
That one's a big one. I really like that.
Yeah. But the people you surround yourself, if you're going to surround yourself by people that have businesses, always talk about business. Most of the time with my friends, I'm always talking about business, about this new thing, about, hey, this guy had this business, this is cool, look at how he grew it. We're always talking about business. We're not talking about, oh, did you see what the basketball gang you guys scored? Yeah, sure, we talk about it, but not in the ways of that's 99%. No, that's like 1% of our conversations. But definitely surround yourself by the people who you want to become to. Even surround yourself by the people that's smarter than you, because you're going to learn from them.
Yeah,
and
100%.
If you're gonna surround yourself by people like not motivated, are happy with average life, you're not going to become anyone. You're literally going to stay on the same level.
100%. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I suggest surround yourself by the people you want to actually become, and actually way bigger than you in, in knowledge, and especially people that are older, because
Mm.
they lived life, especially with business. If they had a business for 20 years, think about the knowledge
Yeah.
that they have with someone that, haven't had a business or even 2 years of business, right? Knowledge over 20 years, 2 years, very different,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like show me, like, your network is your net worth.
Correct.
Yeah, like
Correct.
a big thing for me is networking and building relationships. That's why I love doing these podcasts. Building connections and having organic conversations. What does your network look like? How do you go about networking and building these relationships? Because obviously, you have a mate of yours that gets celebrities in, and it's like you know these right people. How have you gone about building your network?
I think I met a lot of people because, for example, of Salt Street.
Yeah,
Big thing. Like, for example, Jack Doohan, the driver for F1,
yeah,
he brought in Mick Schumacher because he was here, right? He was like,
Mhm.
wow, this beautiful store, whatever, come in, right?
yeah,
It's because of Salt Street. But network, I'm just always like hustling and trying to find people that I want to surround myself with. And networking really comes from your brand. If you can really nail your brand,
yeah,
people want to like talk to you and network with you. And
yeah.
network is really important,
Oh
really
yeah,
important,
hundred
because
percent.
the people that you know will actually help you in life and help you in business. And even if it's like collaborative perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
if someone has a brand and you want to collab, not always about the money, but in the ways of actually networking together and doing something cool for consumers and just overall experience.
100%. I love it. That's
Mm.
absolute gold. How do you keep yourself accountable? How do you go about accountability? Because, like, I know for me, I was talking to someone previously on the podcast, and it really resonated with
Mhm.
me. And I was like, when I'm away and I'm surrounding myself with people that challenge you and keep you accountable, it's like, okay, cool. If you said you're going to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and go to the gym, and your alarm goes off, like, how long are you going to let that alarm go off before you get up? It's like that competition of like, okay, cool, I'm going to get up, I'm going to have that banter with your mates, where it's like, okay, cool, I'm going to keep taking that next step and be better and better and better every day. So yeah, what does accountability look like to you, and how do you ensure that you keep yourself accountable with your everyday day-to-day life and work?
It's either you want it or you don't. So
Yeah,
if you want it, do it. Like, wake up at 5 a.m. You want to achieve bigger things, or educate yourself.
yeah,
Search for the knowledge. And for me, it's like how I keep myself accountable. It's like, I want it.
yeah, yeah.
That's like, I
I
want
always
it.
think if I don't do it, someone else will.
Correct. There's a huge think about how many people in this world, right?
Mm,
Why another person couldn't do what you are doing? They
yeah,
could do it even better, right?
mm,
And this is the thing. It's like that minute with that extra 30 minutes that you slept because you decided, oh, I just can't be messed up like waking up right now. In
mm,
that 30 minutes, someone could have grew a business even further than you, right? You could have missed a market opportunity. And when someone takes a big market share, it's really hard to dive into that market and really beat it, unless
yeah,
if you
yeah,
think about something of very innovative, right?
100%. So, what does the next 5 years look like for you? Where do you see yourself in 5 years with Soul Street and your own personal endeavors?
Yeah, so like Soul Street will grow like eventually step by step. I really want to do other businesses, really touch on different topics. Soul Street is will just grow, right?
Yeah,
I
it'll
will
just do its
always
thing. Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
It's step by step.
Do you plan on opening more stores and
Yes, it
locations?
just depends always. It's always about the market.
Yeah. Okay.
The online is just you can have such a huge presence online. And
Yeah.
it's really important as well because if you can build a presence online, everyone will come and visit that store because of that TikTok or that video on
That
Instagram
video.
that they
Yeah. Yeah.
saw, right? For me, yeah, the 5 years, just honestly keep hustling, really dive in, don't waste time, still relatively young, just
Yeah. Yeah.
hustle, don't just waste time because wasting time is probably the worst thing you can do. Sure, you have those bad days that you feel like, oh, you're like
Everyone
failing.
has
Or
bad days.
correct,
Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes you have good days, but honestly, just hustling, being a good person,
Yeah.
really try to network as much as possible.
Yeah. So
And
how old are you now?
I just turned 23.
23.
Yeah.
and you've accomplished all this.
Yeah.
It's really motivating even for me. It's like that little bit of competition. I'm like, I want to be here when I'm 23. Are you looking at opening stores internationally?
Internationally, again, that's a really hard market because obviously people sometimes have a market share there and different markets, different products, definitely an opportunity. And for me, opportunity will come.
Yeah.
This is with anything, right? Like even opportunity opening Westfield Chermside, the opportunity came. And for me, opportunities come day by day, right?
But
And
how do you identify opportunity
well, it just depends. You need to evaluate what was provided to you, and you
Mhm.
think, "Wow, this is a great opportunity to take on it," because the
and taking
opportunity
that
just goes.
risk?
And you might not. If I didn't take that risk, for example, right, the
Mm.
opportunity came to open a Westfield Kumara. If I didn't take the opportunity, I might not be where I am today, right? Someone else could have been there, right? Whatever, if it's the same sort of marketplace, or it could have been someone else, right? I took that risk, and I guess, yeah,
Mm.
it worked out in a good way,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
So
How often do you take risks? Do you think it's necessary?
I take risks pretty much every single day because, right, we have bills to pay, we have, rent that's huge,
Mm.
and that's risk every single day, right? I could just pretty much close everything, close online, just be safe, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
risk is every single day. I'm risking everything. What happens if a customer doesn't come in the store? I'm
yeah,
risking
yeah.
it, right? It all really relative, and everything needs to work together. All your marketing, all your employees are on the A game, and if someone is slacking, it might bring the whole brand down.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. So your dream life looks like hustling, traveling, and enjoying life on that day to day, right?
Right. And being a good person, that's the most important part as well.
How do you go about being a good person?
Um,
Like, do you do it? Do you do like giveaways, charities? Like, how?
yeah,
What fulfills you in being a good person?
a good person is honestly, it's not just about money, it's about like involving people and
Yeah,
trying to give them opportunity as well.
yeah,
Like for example, through Sultry, how many friends like sort of gave opportunity and they went to do big and better things, and just giving people opportunity, to be honest, because some people, some friends can give opportunity to others, even if it's being nice, like, hey, let's go for dinner or treat
mm.
you, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And family is the most important part. Your parents,
What is
treating
your
them well,
relationship with your family like? What's your relationship with mum and dad?
like really well, really well.
Yeah,
I like treat them as much as possible. They gave me like to a really nice school,
yeah,
education wise, sports wise. So I treat them as much as possible. If it's little things, even bigger things, whatever it is, I try to really look after my parents because it's really,
Do
really
you think your
important.
relationship with your parents has like really helped you get to where you are today?
100%, because like my dad motivated me because I saw my dad like doing really good things, big things. I'm like, I'm really motivated because of him.
Hmm.
And he is definitely my, I figured I look up to 100%. And, my dad is 70 years old, right? He's not in his 40s, not in his 50s, right? So I really look up to him and really, you know, show him, the world that he can experience and really have that. Yeah, yeah, family is really important. Really,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
important for me. Yeah.
No, I love it. I just want to go back before our previous conversation. You were talking about opening up other businesses. What do they look like?
It's different, like in different industries. I really
Yeah,
like, it's hard. Like, there's so many like industries I really want to touch on. Like, biggest thing is like, I love building, right?
yeah,
How from school, before even this or even before business, my dad really wanted to be an engineer, right? And I really loved it. I loved
yeah, yeah,
engineering. I went to uni as well. During I had the business. After school, I went to uni. I didn't finish the degree because everything was really popping off, right?
yeah,
So definitely want to touch the engineering construction side of things. I really want to start, different businesses even online. Online is a huge marketplace, right? And the biggest thing is like trying to resolve an issue in the market,
yeah.
right? That's where you can succeed. Even it's from a filter chai head in your bathroom, or if could be any product, right? Reusable water bottles, whatever it is, right? If you can solve that problem in the market, you will have a really successful business because you are helping the consumer in resolving the issue, and that's what people love, especially if in health. Oh, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think the online market is something that, someone who is looking at starting to create their dream life and become a successful person should be looking into?
100%. It's free. You can.
Because I know that when it came to Shopify, Shopify had its real popularity spike a few years ago. Everyone was drop shipping and it was Shopify, and then it kind of went off, and then now it's AI and all over the place. Because a lot of people that I've been speaking to is like, get into AI, get into AI automation. If you can automate people's business through AI, you'll be printing money, all that kind of stuff. Do you still think Shopify is still a massive market that people should be diving into, or should they navigate more towards AI? What do you reckon?
AI is like automation. That's one thing. It's you can automate different things or whatever. If it's content, it gives you. But Shopify is just obviously just a website developer that you can build, right? Shopify will always be there. Nothing really. It's hard to really take the share. But for anyone that's looking to start building an online business, because that is free for you.
Yeah.
Go build a Shopify store. If you're looking for drop shipping, for example, go find a product in China you think that's going to resolve the issue or resolve a problem here. You can literally do it for free, even at low cost. I know people that do it pretty much at like $100. You can start a brand, see if the product sells here, import it, export it, right? You just need to learn. For dropshipping, you need to learn, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely online business, even if you can find a resolution to help people that have a business, is amazing as well, especially with marketing. Businesses struggling with marketing, right? They struggle with ideas, right? This is where AI comes in, right? This is where AI can think way more of an idea than you, right? And you can automate their website, anything related to business, you'll really succeed as well. And that's
how do you use AI in your business?
We use AI not as much because again, it's really direct to consumer. We use AI for whatever it is, creatives or for ads or tech. It's not really very broad, right?
Yeah.
Not AI won't really work here as much as like other businesses. But yeah, we try to use it, but not as much.
Yeah, awesome. Now, if someone was to start doing their business or online, if you had to start from the start with everything you know, how would you go about it? What would you do if, like, starting from get-go?
Start an online business, that's for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd do differently to how you've got here today?
Differently, no, because what was given to me by opportunity is because I took the opportunity. Like I can't change, or I could have changed this. No, because what has happened has happened.
Yeah,
right? I can't change it. I can't take it away, but I wouldn't change anything. I literally wouldn't change anything because that opportunity could have been different 2 years ago, 3, 4 years ago, right? Could have been very different, but yeah, I wouldn't change anything because whatever life has presented, that's what it got delivered to me.
And you've just taken that and gone
Correct.
with it.
Yeah, I can't change that. If my knowledge was like, maybe if I started the business from zero, yeah, my knowledge would be very, very different, right?
Yeah.
But if it was 5 years ago, I wouldn't really change much. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to because I had zero knowledge. I had to start from zero.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love it. Now, for someone who is on that journey of creating their dream life and they're struggling with starting e-commerce and drop shipping, is there anything you'd recommend for them to overcome those issues or start learning? Like, could you give someone a crash course or a bit of an explanation on how they could go about starting their drop shipping journey or their Shopify and online business journey?
Well, drop shipping again, and you're online, you need the need, right? You want it. Like you want to achieve it. This is the problem.
If you want something hard enough, you'll get it.
This is what people lack of is they wanting to have that. They're like, oh, I had that, drop shipping. Let me try it. But you didn't even research. You just watched one YouTube video. Go research. You need to experience it. Go build that store. Go really test it.
Go buy my course.
That's a big thing in COVID. Yeah, buying a course. That was a big thing. Yeah, course. Because again, I would touch on quickly on the course. Yeah. What people back in the day, their biggest thing was during COVID was the course, right? To be honest with you, they didn't even know what they were doing. That's why all these courses disappeared. The only thing they know is go on Shopify, put in the email, put their password in. That's pretty much it. So course was the biggest scam during COVID, or it's really rare nowadays that you can find a course that will help you. Because why would a person be helping you? There's no need. There's no person who's going to help you. There's literally, unfortunately, in this world, you need to surround yourself yourself, by the people, and really build something together. And it's during with like knowledge, or even if you can do the business. I'm not saying go in business with friends or partners, but get the knowledge from them. Really study, really pick people's brains, and then you have more knowledge on that topic or any topic you're talking about.
Yeah. Knowledge seems like the biggest component for you, right?
Correct. Yeah. Without knowledge, you wouldn't be able to do many things
Yeah,
because
knowledge is power, as they
correct.
say.
Knowledge is power. You know, again, as I say, like a person that has knowledge of 20 years in business and a person that has 2 years in business is very different. Because that person with 20 years of experience, he would take business in a different way. He would grow
But
in a
wouldn't
different
you
way.
say with people that are older, like let's use my father for
Mhm.
argument's sake. He's just over 50 now, and he's someone that didn't take too much risk. He's done really, really well for himself. He runs his own electrical business, but he's not like created a shoe brand that's on massive scale. So he's definitely got all this experience, but it's in a different niche.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's where it's like, okay, cool. Like I'm learning a lot. I have a lot of knowledge myself. My dad has a lot of knowledge, but in a different area. So how do you go about choosing the right people to take the right knowledge from? Because if I was to ask my dad for knowledge on growing my my videography company, he'd be like, oh, like, I don't know. Because I always say to dad, I'm like, why don't you get yourself an employee and delegate tasks like all your invoicing and all your stuff for QuickBooks and all your emails? Because my dad will sit at the computer for hours of a night time when he should be on the couch with me mum watching the TV. He'll sit there for hours going through all of his emails and his invoicing. I'm like, oh, well, employ someone. He's like, oh, I'll just do it myself. So how do you go about choosing the right people to take knowledge from?
You can take knowledge from anyone because again, the way they build business is completely different to another person, right?
Mm.
Like for example, your dad had a electrical business, right? You can pick his knowledge in any way possible because it
I
could
love that you
be
said that.
it,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could be any way, like in any sense. It doesn't mean like he's going to tell you from A to Z how to build a business, but
Mm.
little things that you can pick on, and if you pick it up from 10 people, look how much knowledge you have.
Yeah. It's
You
true,
know?
actually. I like that you said that because it's very real in my experience with people I get knowledge from. Because even with dad, he might not know things I don't know with business, but there's a lot of things, like a lot of things that I've picked up from him that I'm like, okay, now I've learned that, or now I can do it, especially with accounting.
Yes,
I'll tell you
correct.
that for
Yeah.
free.
But even like my friends, right? We're not
Yeah.
all in the same line of business. We're all in different line of business, right?
Yeah.
I am like, it's all very interesting how one we help each other, right? Whatever
Mm.
it's little things, right? That's what I'm talking about knowledge. I know the knowledge of something that another person doesn't know. For example, let's go Google advertising, Google ads, right? My friend might not know that. I know that, right? I'll help him with that knowledge, right? So you can pick anyone's brain with any different topics, right? And then you can sort of, it depends how you consume it, right?
Mm.
You can consume it in a positive way, a bad way. It really depends on you. But again, all my friends are in different business line, and I'm interested in how they attract their customer. How
Mm.
do they sell their product or their service, right? I'm interested, right? Because I'm
What are
gonna
some main things that you've learned that you didn't know about, like through your friends? Is there any like key things you're like, oh, holy shit, I didn't know that?
I would say it's hard to like put it off the topic, but it's like every single time it's like something new. It's like always something new, and something that he didn't know, and they'll be like, oh wow, this is actually wow, you're actually true. This is actually correct, and I'll be wow. What you actually said is actually pretty cool, and I can actually use that in my business and in my business line. But for example, let's say setting up like a Shopify store, right?
Mm-hmm.
My friend didn't know how to do that. He's a service-based business, right? He
Mm-hmm.
didn't know how to do that. I helped him to do that.
Yeah.
Vice versa, right? I didn't know how to do email marketing, right?
Yeah.
But my friend did. He helped me with the email marketing, try to grow it as much as possible. So it's vice versa, right? Any knowledge, I can't pick it up from my top of my head right now, but it's always little things that really click in your head. Oh, wow, that's perfect. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love it. For anybody listening, before we finish off this podcast, is there any final thing you'd like to leave them with? Any quote, anything that resonates with you that you want to finish it off with?
I love like it's either you want or you don't, and like keep hustling, especially if you're young or any age you are, just keep hustling, really find a happy median where you're not really driving yourself through the mud, but
Yeah.
actually have, relaxation days, doesn't mean like every single week, every other week you should have like a vacation. No, just find a happy median in life and just be happy. Be happy is the most important part. Because if you are not happy in life, you really put yourself down and then you get into these places like depressing places. Just be happy. Just look at the positives in
But
life.
how do you be happy? Obviously, everyone has these days where they're sad or they're depressed. But how do you go about being happy and ensuring that today's going to be a good day?
You need to look at your positives in life. You need to think about it. Hey, like I have a loving family. I have a beautiful partner, a loving partner. Some people don't have that. You
Yeah.
really need to think about it. Like I have it, and some people don't, and I should be happy. It doesn't mean like money wise. Oh my God, this guy has millions of dollars. No, it's not just about money. It's about family and loving family or whoever it is, right? Some people don't have that. And even if you talk about even like a car, right? Materialistic things, right? Some people don't have a bike, some people don't have a car, right? Just be grateful for what you have. It's really important. Be grateful because I met a lot of people that are really ungrateful and like for them it's like nothing. It's like, wow, man, like it's a pretty big thing for me, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I love it. Where can people find you on socials? Obviously here at Pack Fair, Soul Street, you've got you've got Soul Street at Chermside. But where can people find you on Instagram?
Like Nazar Lukashov with V at the end. But yeah, that's probably Instagram is the biggest thing. Or Facebook, Nazar Lukashov also, and obviously Soul Street. I love when people come into the store and like
Come on
really
in.
experience.
How often are you here in the store?
Every other day I will be here.
Yeah.
But one biggest thing I want to touch on,
Yeah.
it's really cool to have people that you went to school with and like visit and being like a customer. I
Yeah.
think that's really cool. Like that was like I was here yesterday, Saturday, and one of my friends that came in from school, like I wasn't even good friends with him, right? But he
Yeah.
came in because he wanted to support. I think
That's
that's
cool.
a really important part in life as well. Like especially friends need to support their
Each
own
other.
friends and each other because people really want that moral support and really like think, wow, I'm actually doing the right thing and really saying like, you're doing a good job, right, Kyle? You're doing a really good job with your videography company, right? And people really need to hear it because it really motivates them
Yeah,
to
it
succeed.
really pushes you. Yeah.
But yeah, I've really liked that actually. Like when friends or I don't ask for it, whatever it is,
Or
but
even
like,
just
I really
clients.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
any customers and I'm talking about in relative like close people that you had in life, and yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, like talking about the school thing. I remember when I was in school, I had a teacher, and he was like the best. And I said to him, like, I'm gonna have my own videography business. And I'm gonna kill it. And he's like, if you still got your videography business when you finish school, I'm gonna get you to film my wedding. I filmed his wedding a couple of days ago, and
Look how
it
cool
was
that is.
unreal. I sent him through the content, and he's here like, holy fuck, you are like so good at what you do. Like this is unreal. Like I'm gonna cry. Like rah rah rah, and it made me feel so good. And again, like you were just saying, it
That feeling,
motivates me.
that's
It's
what
like
I'm saying.
just gives
Yeah.
you that fire to keep going. And then the previous guy that we just did, Creating the Dream Life Uncovered, he was a watch dealer in Sydney. He's like, I don't even know how to explain it. You're just amazing at what you do. And that just gives me my fire just to keep going. And it's so true what you say. And I think the people listening, like you should always go to your friends and just say, hey, like you're killing it. Like
Yeah,
keep
correct.
doing
Yeah,
well.
and this is the biggest thing in the world as well. It's like jealousy. Oh, this guy's doing better. Bro, who cares, man?
Yeah.
Be happy for someone else's happiness, right? Be
Yeah.
happy for them. Support them. Like people need that. Like genuinely, people need that. And we're all humans. Well, we all have red blood, right? So really support everyone. We're all just humans, and yeah, saying like doing a good job goes a long way.
I love it. I love it. Now, to finish off, is there anybody that comes to your mind that you'd like to see on the podcast next?
There's a lot of big names, but if you could do like Simon Beard would be cool.
Yeah.
Even that would be really, really cool actually.
I'd love to do that with him. That'd be cool.
To be honest, anyone, because everyone has different knowledge, everyone has really different perspective on life. But yeah, anyone with business, again, everyone has different knowledge, different perspective, and different goals, and
I'm keen
different
to
dream life, right? That's really important as well.
Well, that's
everyone,
the thing.
That's right.
Yeah, everyone has their own version of what their dream life looks like.
It could be, having like that cool supercar in their garage, or beautiful home on the Gold Coast,
that
or
freedom,
whatever it is, right? And it's really interesting to listen to everybody because it's very important to understand what, hey, wow, this person actually really wants to, in future to have a huge house. Wow, that's pretty cool. Or have a huge business and really dive into what their perspective is.
I love it. I love it. Nazar, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast and opening up the store for us after hours, because this has been unreal, and I really appreciate having this conversation with you and doing a bit of a deep dive into what your dream life looks like and how someone listening can do the same. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. There you go, guys. Thank you for tuning back into the Creating the Dream Life podcast, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.